Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is making waves across the league, and it's got the potential to be a total game changer for the Seahawks. Rumors are swirling, and sources suggest that the Detroit Lions are contemplating a blockbuster trade that would see them send Aiden Hutchinson, their star edge rusher, to our Seahawks. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a bombshell that could reshape the NFC West and elevate Seattle's defense to new heights. Let's get into the details because this isn't just your typical rumor. It's a strategic move that's got the NFL buzzing. The Lions, sitting at 8-5 with a defense allowing an average of 23, 4 points per game, are reportedly eyeing a rebuild. They're looking to free up cap space, around $22 million, and strengthen their draft capital by moving Hutchinson, who has been a cornerstone of their defense. Hutchinson, a 25-year-old pass-rushing machine, has been nothing short of spectacular this season, with 8 sacks, 65 pressures, and an overall PFF grade of 94, putting him among the best at his position. The Lions' strategy seems focused on bolstering their secondary, which has struggled at times, while using the draft picks to rebuild their defense, which has permitted over 300 points so far. Now, here's where it gets interesting for the Seahawks. Seattle, currently sitting at an impressive 10-3 with a defense allowing just under 20 points per game, is actively looking to bolster their pass rush. They're aware that adding a player like Hutchinson would be a massive boost, not just for their sack numbers, but for the overall pressure and disruption on opposing quarterbacks. Hutchinson's profile is exactly what the Seahawks need. At 25, he's in his prime, with a career grade of 88+ and 0 injuries in 2025. His stats are eye-popping: 23 tackles, 13 assists, 36 combined stops, and an EPA per run of -0.16. He's a relentless force, similar in style to Bosa, and can elevate a pass rush that's already been pretty solid, but adding Hutchinson would turn it into a true nightmare for offenses. Imagine the Seahawks, front seven with Hutchinson lining up alongside Mafe, who's already been showing flashes of brilliance, and other key pass rushers. The impact would be immediate. We're talking about an increase of roughly plus 15 sacks projected for the team, and a significant drop in EPA per pass, which means less success for opponents on third down and a more dominant defense overall. The Seahawks' secondary, which has been playing well, would benefit greatly from the extra pressure, leading to more turnovers and disrupted plays. It's not just about sacks, but creating that constant, relentless pressure that forces mistakes and keeps offenses guessing. From a statistical perspective, Hutchinson's performance this season has been impressive. He's already got 8 sacks, and his pressures are at 85, with a career grade of over 88 and 0 injuries in this campaign. That durability is crucial because it means he's a reliable force on the field, day in and day out. His ability to rush the passer without blitzing, leading pressures in that scenario, makes him a perfect fit for the Seahawks' defensive scheme. Plus, his ability to generate stops, around 48 this season, and his versatility in playing multiple spots along the line make him an even more valuable asset. Why would the Lions consider parting ways with Hutchinson? Well, the report indicates that Detroit is prioritizing their secondary, which has given up a lot of yards and points, and they're looking to free up cap space to address other needs. They're also eyeing draft picks to rebuild a defense that's allowed over 300 points this year, emphasizing a strategic rebuild rather than short-term fixes. A move like this would give the Lions flexibility to focus on their secondary, perhaps drafting a corner or safety high in the upcoming draft, and reallocate cap space to improve their overall roster. For the Seahawks, this trade would be a massive statement. It would send a clear message to the league that Seattle is serious about contending, especially on defense. Adding Hutchinson would elevate the team's pass rush from good to elite, matching the best in the league. It would also send a message to the division that the Seahawks are not just here to compete, but to dominate. Our pass rush has been improving, but adding a player of Hutchinson's caliber would make it a real strength, giving us the edge needed to push for higher playoff seeding and ultimately a deep run in the postseason. And let's talk about the playoff implications because if this move happens, the odds for a Super Bowl appearance skyrocket. Bookmakers are already adjusting odds, with Seahawks Super Bowl chances jumping from plus 1,500 to plus 500 if Hutchinson joins the team. That's a huge shift, and it shows how much the league sees this as a potential catalyst for a championship run. The Lions, on the other hand, are seeing their odds drop from plus 2,500, reflecting the uncertainty about their future without Hutchinson, but also the strategic rebuild they're hoping to undertake. This trade, if it happens, would be a defining moment in the NFL season. It would signal that the Seahawks are all in on a championship push, leveraging their defensive strength and adding a young star who can disrupt even the best offenses. It's a bold move, but one that makes perfect sense given the team's current trajectory. The Seahawks have already been building a solid defense, but adding Hutchinson would be like putting the cherry on top, creating a defense that's not just good but downright terrifying for opponents. Now, I know some of you might be wondering about the broader picture. The Seahawks have been on the rise all season, showing resilience and adaptability. Geno Smith has been playing at a Pro Bowl level, and the offense is firing on all cylinders, but defense wins championships, and that's where Hutchinson would come into play. It's about creating mismatches, about making sure our opponents are constantly on their heels, and about building a roster that can compete with the best of the best. With this move, Seattle would be setting itself up for a deep playoff run, possibly even bringing home that elusive Super Bowl trophy. Of course, all of this hinges on the negotiations and how the trade unfolds, but the signs are pointing in a very exciting direction. The Seahawks have the draft capital and the cap space to make this happen, and with Hutchinson's talent and youth, it's a move that could pay dividends for years to come. Imagine a front seven featuring Hutchinson, Mafe, and the rest of our talented pass rushers, all working together to suffocate offenses week after week. That's the kind of defense that makes opponents fear coming to Lumen Field. In closing, folks, this potential trade is not just a rumor. It's a statement that the Seahawks are serious about competing at the highest level. It's about upgrading our defense, increasing our Super Bowl odds, and making sure that Seattle remains a top contender in this league. So keep your eyes peeled because if this deal happens, it'll be one of the biggest moves of the season, and it could define the future of Seahawks football for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Hutchinson is the perfect fit for Seattle? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in the navy and green? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news and let's keep the passion alive. Go Seahawks!